I'm not the daughter they buried 5 years ago. That thought burned in my mind as I parked my rental sedan in the driveway of my childhood home. I'm Elise Harper, 32, a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Cyber Command. A truth my family doesn't know. Tomorrow, I'll face my father and sister, Mara, at Vanguard Systems, their company, in a defense contract meeting. They think I'm a low-ranking officer, drifting aimlessly. As the Pentagon's lead liaison with veto power over their project, I'll shatter that illusion. Tonight, I'll let them have their version of me. The driveway felt narrower than I remembered, my car sharp against Mom's faded station wagon. I cut the engine, the heater's hum fading into silence. My hands were steady, military discipline, but my stomach churned like before a mission. The porch light glowed, highlighting a worn doormat and a door untouched by time. Cracked steps, overgrown hedges. Nothing had changed, especially not the feeling of being invisible, yet judged. I rang the doorbell out of habit. "Elise!" Mom called. "It's open." I stepped inside, hit by lavender air freshener and a wall of photos. Mara's law school graduation, her wedding, her twins. No trace of my military life. No dress blues from my commissioning. No commendations I'd sent. "Dinner's almost ready," Mom said, not looking up. "Mara and Tom are coming. Mara's heading a new division." I forced a smile. "That's great, Mom." She gushed about Mara's role at Vanguard's cybersecurity unit, Dad's pride evident in her voice. "She's going somewhere," Mom said, the words cutting deep, as if my deployments, medals, and rise to lieutenant colonel at 32 were nowhere. The table was set for 6, no name cards, but the hierarchy was clear. Mara at the head, Dad beside her, Mom central, me irrelevant. Mara and Tom arrived, her blazer exuding quiet power, Tom with a bottle of Merlot we'd fake enjoying. "Hey, Ellie," Mara said, her hug quick, eyes on Dad. "Been a while." "5 years," I said. She blinked, unsure if I meant it as a jab. I did. Dinner was grilled chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, a tired Caesar salad. Mara owned the conversation, detailing Vanguard's military cybersecurity contract. Dad's eyes shone with pride. "And you, Elise?" Mom asked, her smile distant. "Still moving around with the Army?" "Something like that," I said, sipping water. "Still a captain?" Dad asked, eyes on his plate. "More or less," Mara added. "Must be tough, always on the move. Just following orders, right?" I stayed silent. My uniform, pressed with silver oak leaves, waited upstairs. Tomorrow, they'd see. I escaped to my old room after dinner. The twin bed had the same floral quilt, the walls frozen in time, debate trophies, AP certificates, a prom photo. Nothing from the last 5 years, no cybersecurity awards, no photos from Germany or DC, no mention of Fort Meade. When I told them about my ROTC scholarship, Dad had scoffed. "The Army's for people without options. You're wasting your potential." He wanted me at Vanguard, like Mara. When I chose my path, I became their cautionary tale. Laughter floated up, Mara's confidence, Dad's chuckle, Mom's soft agreement. A family whole without me. The irony? Mara's division worked on Project Aegis, the contract I oversee. Tomorrow, at 8:30, I'd walk into Vanguard, brief the board, and judge her work. They didn't know. I unfolded my uniform, checking ribbons and insignia. My hands moved with precision, a ritual to anchor me. Tomorrow wasn't revenge, it was clarity. My presence would speak. At Vanguard Systems, I parked in the DoD liaison spot, stepping out in full uniform, oak leaves gleaming. Guards snapped to attention. "Good morning, Colonel," one said, scanning my badge. I took the elevator to the executive floor, steps sure, mind sharp. I'd memorized the layout weeks ago. Mara was in the hallway, scrolling a tablet, relaxed until she saw me. "Ellie, why?" Her eyes hit my uniform. "What is this?" "Good morning, Ms. Harper," I said. "I'm here for the Project Aegis briefing." Dad appeared, mid-conversation, then froze. "Elise, what's with the costume?" Before I could speak, Dr. Evelyn Carter, Vanguard's CEO, approached. "Colonel Harper, a privilege to have you in person." She shook my hand, then turned to the group. "Lieutenant Colonel Elise Harper oversees Project Aegis and holds final approval authority." Silence hit like a shockwave. I didn't look at them. I didn't need to. In the conference room, my nameplate sat beside Dr. Carter's. The team, engineers, VPs, greeted me with respect. Mara and Dad entered last, faces stiff, seats distant. At 8:30, Dr. Carter introduced me, praising my critical oversight. I stood, briefed milestones, and outlined changes to meet Pentagon standards, questioning each presenter with calm authority. Mara's turn came. She stood, shaken. As cybersecurity lead, I've developed a Phase 1 framework, she said, voice unsteady. It should meet goals. I leaned forward. Ms. Harper, how does your framework address the encryption benchmarks from our latest directive? She faltered. We can review that. You'll need to, I said. Those benchmarks are mandatory. Revised proposal by Wednesday. Yes, Colonel, she said, pale. The room paused, then continued. I led the next topic, my authority clear. By noon, Dr. Carter announced I'd stay for further reviews, urging full support. As people left, I felt the shift. Eyes saw me now. Dad lingered in the hallway. Elise, he said, voice low, we need to talk. Your office? I said. Inside, Mom sat rigid, Mara by the window, arms crossed. My childhood jury. You're a lieutenant colonel? Dad asked. Since when? 8 months, I said. I sent invitations, emails, photos. You never responded. Mom interjected. We didn't understand, Elise. Colonel sounds big, but why not tell us? I did, I said. You were too busy with Mara's wins to notice mine? Dad's jaw clenched. You could have explained. I stopped when you stopped listening, I said. I'm not your failure. I built my path. Tomorrow I'll do my job. You decide what's next. I left, boots echoing. Their silence screamed louder than words.